Alright guys, how's it going? It's Luke here and I'm here to bring you week 4 of the GBA X League, which will be the Bulbahampton Wanderers, my team, up against the fighting Qwilfish. Now before we begin, I do just want to say that I'm going to be speaking really quietly in this video because it's about 1:15 in the morning. I don't want to piss off my housemates. And it's, I'm feeling a bit ill. I've had a massive 5-hour long journey to get back here and I'm absolutely knackered. And so like I might actually leave out the funky little background music that I usually have in, just so it doesn't drown my own voice out, because I will be speaking very quietly in this. So maybe just stick some earphones in, turn your volume up, and yeah, you might just be able to hear what I'm saying. So yeah, instead of opening up on the team builder as usual, I do just want to sort of show you the league picture at the moment as it stands, because this is a massive game going into week 4. And as you can see here, this is the division that I'm in. We've got the Bulbahampton Wanderers, my team here, against the fighting Qwilfish. And as you can see, we are both sort of topping this division. We've got 3 games played, 3 wins. It's only 1 kill, to make the difference in the differential. So like we're competing extremely closely, and because it's a divisional game, this game, even though it's only week 4, it could have massive implications for who tops the group and who makes the wildcard spot. Pardon me. So like it's going to be a massive game. We play each other again later in the season, because you play each team in your division twice, and so we will play again. But like it's the Zimbabwe Zoroarks, they're also a really tough team with an amazing draft, so don't count them out either. This is sort of the group of death, the way that I see it. But at the moment, as things stand, we are sort of storming the division. We're storming the league in total, really. Like you've seen my previous 3 games, if you've seen my other videos, and I did sort of have really sort of good strong wins there. And Robin, my opponent with the fighting Qwilfish, he's been doing the exact same thing. So these are sort of the 2 titans. This is your bloody United City, or maybe not United anymore, but this is like the sort of the 2 absolute titans. This is like your bloody Dortmund, Bayern Munich, sort of like a massive game. So yeah, just wanted to sort of show you that little picture of how things stand, so you can sort of understand the importance of this game. And now we're sort of going to jump into, just make sure I'm still recording, jump into the team builder, get rid of that advert there. Yeah, but that was good. I don't know why I'm doing that. So yeah, jumping in straight away. Sorry, I'm all over the place. It probably would help if I opened up my little notepad that I've got here. So I'm just going to sort of read off both of our teams. My team, I haven't made any trades. We've got the Tornadus, Therian, Victini, Scizor, Tangrowth, Slowking, Sylveon, Salamence, Magnezone, Crocodile, Crobat and Smeargle. That's my 11. We're up against fighting Qwilfish, who've got Magiana, Landorus, Therian, Weavile, Arcanine, Starmie, Jolteon, Decidueye, Ditto, Dragalge, Azelf and Staraptor. Probably, in my opinion, the toughest, well, the best draft in the whole league. He somehow managed to get Magiana and Landorus Therian. Like Magiana's obviously with its Soul Heart ability, it's only got a base 65 speed, but you can stick a Scarf on it or give it shift gear. You can improve that quite easily. It's the Soul Heart ability, which is basically a special attacking Moxie. It's got insane stats, sort of all over the place anyway. It's got a really wide move pool, so basically if Magiana gets 1 kill, gets its Soul Heart Moxie boost, you've pretty much lost. Not only that, he's got the Landorus Therian, which is obviously probably the most overused Pokemon of all time in Smogon or VGC or League format, whichever format. Landorus Therian can really punch a hole in teams. It sets up rocks, it can set up Swords Dance or a Rock Polish, it can be a great Scarf, or it gets U-turn, it gets Edgequake. It's a really threatening mon. He's got Weavile, which is probably the best knockoff user in the game, definitely the best offensive ice type. It gets Pursuit as well, it troubles Victini no end. He's got Arcanine, which can switch into any of Victini's sort of stab moves. Starmie as well. Arcanine and Starmie make a really good core to sort of beat down Victini, or at least check it and stop it from wrecking shop. He's got Jolteon, which he sniped from me, and I was really angry because Jolteon's probably my favourite electric type in the format. It's really fast, it gets Volt Absorb. No idea why it's not as well respected as it should be. It should be bloody OU for all I care. It's better than Raikou. I'm saying that right now. He's got Decidueye, obviously it's a decent grass type. Grass goes to counts as a rapid spin blocker. It gets Defog, it gets Roost, it gets Spirit Shackle, which can have a few shenanigans with it. Ditto is obviously a horrifying Pokemon, and Robin, my opponent, he's drafted Ditto before. He knows how to use Ditto, so that's always something to look out for. He's got Dragalge, which is obviously just a massive wall breaker. Specs Adaptability, Draco Meteor. He's got Azelf, which is a good suicide lead, and he's got Staraptor, which can be banded or scarfed with its Reckless Brave Birds. There's not many switch-ins to it. So anyway, I'm looking at his team and I'm thinking, okay, that Magiona, I think it's got like 7 or 8 kills. I can't remember. I can't bother to look, but it's got like 7 or 8 kills in his first 3 games. It's had a couple of sweeps. It's like, not only is it a really good Pokemon, but Robin's proven that he knows how to use it. So my first thought is I need to stop Magiona. I was doing the calcs, and if Magiona isn't choice specs, Tangrowth can eat any hit. If it's a specs Magiona, that's a bit more challenging, but then he locks himself into a move, so I can work around that. I think I've proven in my previous games with my protect shenanigans, with my protect scouting, I can always sort of work around choice items. But yeah, Tangrowth can beat out any, or maybe not beat out so much, but it can definitely switch in and wall sort of any hits that Magiona wants to go for. Even the Ice Beam's only doing like 35-40% off the top of my head. I can't quite remember exactly. So yeah, Tangrowth was obviously the first one to come in. It's got Leaf Storm just to hit things hard. It's got the knockoff, which is great utility. Sorry, my laptop really getting loud right now. I'm just hoping that it doesn't drown my own voice out. Yes, the knockoff for utility. Earthquake is there to maybe do a bit more damage to an Arcanine on the switch, or stuff like Dragalge, stuff like Magiona. It hits super effectively, so it can do something back after it eats up Magiona's hits. Also Brick Break for the Weavile in case I find myself in a situation where I'm one-on-one with the Weavile. It's a one-hit KO. So I've got a bulky mon who can sort of, and also like it deals with Landorus really well. The only thing with Landorus that I'm terrified of is knockoff, because if Landorus has got knockoff, or if Tangrowth loses the Assault Vest at any point in the game, then Magiona sweeps. Well, he might do. Like I've got something else for Magiona that I'll show later. I'm really proud of that, but. Yeah, so if I can keep the Assault Vest on Tangrowth, it can basically wall hits for most of my opponent's threats, and stuff like Arcanine can beat it out really easily, and Weavile can beat it out really easily, but so I've got to work around that. And then, so I was thinking, okay, so I've got something to stop his threats of Magiona and Landorus. I need to now implement my own threats. I was thinking about Tornadus, but I was thinking, no, because he's got the Jolteon that outspeeds Tornadus, and it's got the Weavile, which does outspeed, and it can also have the Ice Shard for the priority. And I was thinking Tornadus, it does quite well against some of his walls, but for the most part Tornadus can be beaten back quite easily by my opponent, so I wasn't too fussed about Tornadus. I was thinking, what else have I got? Victini. Right, this moveset on Victini, 2 hit KOs at least, all of his team. And I'm Life Orb, so I can sort of switch my moves up a little bit. But yeah, like everything that can switch into a blue flare is Arcanine gets 2 hit KO'd by a Psychic, Starmie killed by Thunderbolt, and Dragalge, which is killed by Psychic. Those are the only Pokemon that can switch into a blue flare, and Glaciate also 1-hit KOs the Landorus. In case he brings the Landorus, switching into my Victini, thinking I'm a physically offensive Victini, because like if he can get an Intimidate off on Victini, he can eat the V-Create, so he might try and use Landorus as a switch into Victini, in which case I've got the Glaciate for it. So yeah, basically just this moveset can, like, basically Victini's my win con. I've got to try and make sure that rocks are off the field, because rocks can wear Victini down quite easily. But yeah, Victini basically, like I was saying, at least a 2-hit KO on every single one of his Pokemon. If I can sort of get him in for free, that's a free kill right there. I'm not really being very eloquent, like I'm saying. I'm not feeling great at the moment, but whatever. Right, next we got Salamence. Because even though Tangrowth's a decent switch in to Landorus, like I'm saying, I'm terrified of the knockoff. And I don't really have much in the way of physical walls on my team other than Tangrowth. Like, obviously Slowking is a special wall, Sylveon's a special wall. Crocodile gets Intimidate, but it's not switching particularly to anything. But so yeah, I'm bringing the bulky defensive Salamence with Intimidate. This thing, if it can switch into Landorus. When Landorus is intimidated, even if it's like fully attack invested, it's still doing about, it's only doing about 35-40% with Stone Edges, and I can roost off that damage. I can do Dragon Claws just to sort of chip my opponents down. Got the Earthquake there to take out, or to do some damage to the Magiana, because obviously that it's immune to the Dragon Claws. Got Protect because firstly to sort of get a bit of leftovers recovery, and also, like I'm saying, I like to have Protect on a couple of mons, so that I can sort of scout about the choice items. So that's basically the thinking with Salamence. It's a bit similar to the set that I brought in week 1 to sort of switch into that Darmanitan. This is basically a switch into Landorus, and it's also got some offensive viability because it's got 135 base attack. It doesn't need to be invested. So there's Sahasrara. I'll go over Dog in a second. Then I'm going to go on to Kenny Loggins. I'm not bringing a Choice Scarf set this time, which is what I usually bring. Yeah, I will also say when I was building this team, I literally did it like half an hour before the battle. I was knackered. Like I'm saying, I had this massive train journey. I wasn't putting too much thought into it. I just sort of listed his main threats. I was like, how do I counter these? Let's bring in some more mons to sort of fill the gaps. And I'm quite ashamed of my prep in this battle. I definitely could have done a lot better, but that's something else. So yeah, Magnezone. I just sort of brought a bulky Magnezone. I was thinking, he might accept this. He might expect me to be Choice Scarfed, like I have brought it the last 2 times that I've brought it, and I usually bring Scarf Magnezone anyway. Like we're in the same league last season as well, and I had a Magnezone. I mainly brought Scarf Magnezone. So I'm thinking, okay, if he thinks I'm Scarf Magnezone, he's going to anticipate a Volt switch. He'll switch into Landorus to sort of counter that, and I can go for a Magnet Rise on that switch, and then Landorus can't bloody touch me. Also, Jolteon is another good switch to Magnezone because of the Volt Absorbability, and Jolteon's probably going to carry Himpower Ground for me. So again, Magnet Rise can help me sort of wall Jolteon's hits, and I can not do tons of damage, but I can Flash Cannon does about 35-40%, so I can wear it down that way. So yeah, I just sort of brought the Magnet Rise switch. I brought leftovers for a bit more longevity. So this is a much more bulky Magnezone than I would usually bring, but I was just thinking, yeah, I can like Scarf it and have the HP Ice for the Landorus, but then I'm sort of playing on him always switching a Landorus, which obviously won't. So I thought Magnet Rise on the switch is a little bit safer, and it gives me a bit more longevity and a bit more viability. So that's the thoughts behind Magnezone. Also got the Analytic just to make, because obviously we've got no speed investments, things are outspeeding me, so Analytic will boost my damage. But not only that, but if my opponent switches, then my Volt switches, or whatever move I choose to go for is doing, was it 1.3 times the amount of damage? So yeah, that's the thoughts behind Analytic. I was tempted to go for a Magnet Pull set with Hidden Power Fire to help take on the Magiana, but that I did a few of the calcs and it didn't really seem too viable. Also, Sturdy Magnet Rise could have been quite fun, so I could face the Landorus one-on-one, but I don't know, this seemed like the right set for me. Then we got Real Steel, because like I'm saying, with Victini, we need to keep rocks off the field, and the one weakness with my draft is that I don't have too many hazard removers. I've got Crobat, Salamence and Scizor. Salamence already filled up the moves, and I didn't want to fit Defog in there, so I've gone for Scizor. Also, priority is always important, especially when he's got a Weavile. And if Magiana looks set to sweep, I can maybe stop it or put a dent in it with a priority Bullet Punch. Like, I think priority is always really, really important, and Bullet Punch, Scizor is obviously one of the best priority users on my team, if not in the format, so that's really good. Got Bug Bite, obviously Technician Bug Bite can take out stuff like the Starmie and the Weavile as well, and it can do damage to basically anything that's switching in. We've got the Defog, like I'm saying, that's basically the only reason I'm bringing Scizor. And we got I was torn between U-Turn and Roost for longevity, but I just went with the U-Turn because I've got the Volt Switch on the Magnezone, and I like to have at least 2 Pokemon with U-Turn Volt Switch sort of synergy, and usually Victini would run the U-Turn, but I've already filled up all the moves on that. So yeah, I just wanted to have a little bit more momentum in my favour with the Scizor, so that's sort of the thoughts behind that. We haven't really done much by way of speed creeping with any of these mons. We've got the Timid, Victini, 252 EVs in speed, because that basically speed ties with the Staraptor. But yeah, we haven't actually brought any speed in this battle at all, because looking at the speed tiers, Robin, my opponent, has got 5 Pokemon of base 100 speed or above, and then one at 95, one at 91. Like, he's got a bloody fast team, and I was never going to beat him out on speed alone unless I scarfed stuff, and so I just thought I'll go more for the bulk and try and sort of stall him out that way. So that's sort of my thoughts behind the speed tiers in this specific team, which probably, again, is a mistake, but like I'm saying, my are we still recording? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it's again, it's a mistake on my part, but like I'm saying, I was ill, feeling, you know, a bit down in the dumps when I was sort of building this team, and yeah, I won't go into it, but yeah, I wasn't putting too many thoughts into the sort of team building, not as much as I should have done. It's definitely a mistake on my part, but yeah, the last Pokemon is Dog. Now this, I bloody love this set. Right. Oh, what have I done? I haven't done anything, I don't think. I just pressed something, I don't know what I pressed. Right. So, Smeargle, like I was saying, I've got one other answer to a Magiona. And just picture this, a Magiona's, it's got its Soul Heart ability up, maybe it's got +1, +2 special attack. How do you deal with that? Well, assuming that rocks or hazards are off the field, which is what Scizor's there for, I've got a Focus Sash intact. Magiona goes for any sort of move, brings me down to my Sash, and I can either go for a Topsy-Turvy or a Heart Swap. The Topsy-Turvy is not a move that you ever see very often, because I think it's a Malamar exclusive. But obviously Smeargle can learn it. Inverted target stat stages. So if you've got a +2 Magiona in the field, suddenly it goes into a -2 Magiona, and it's so much less threatening. So in Robin's first game of the season, he only had 1 Pokemon left in Magiona, and he was up against like 4 or 5, and the Magiona reverse swept and winning the game in the last, in the last seconds. And so I'm thinking, if that kind of situation happens with me, and he's only got Magiona left, and he's building up a few special attack boosts, I can go for the Topsy-Turvy. He can't switch out because it's his only remaining Mon. And yeah, then he's stuck with like a -2 Magiona, and I can just sort of work around that and possibly win. Like, that's sort of my main thoughts of it. Also, I've got the Heart Swap to swap stat changes. So I'm thinking, because Smeargle naturally outspeeds Magiona, unless it's Scarfed. A Scarfed Magiona sort of messes with this a bit. But yeah, Smeargle naturally outspeeds Magiona, so say again Magiona's up to +2 special attack. I can Heart Swap and steal the stat changes. And I've so basically, just imagine this: Smeargle at full health up against Magiona that's +2. Magiona brings me down to my Sash. I go for the Heart Swap. I steal its +2 special attack, and then I go for a Baton Pass into Victini, for example, or into Magnezone, and I've got a bloody 3+2 Mon. So that's sort of the thought. So I'm thinking, if Magiona comes in, I either go for the Topsy-Turvy or the Heart Swap, depending on how many Pokemon he's got left, how many Pokemon I've got left, like what the sort of battle's looking like. I'm really proud of this set. I love it. Also, we've got the Shell Smash just in case, like the whole sort of Magiona thing that I'm thinking of. Like, that's what this whole Smeargle is about. But if that doesn't come off, for whatever reason, got the Shell Smash, Focus Sash, Baton Pass, like that, that's always a viable set. The thing about this Smeargle is that it doesn't have any offensive moves or any offensive presence or any status inflicting presence whatsoever, so that's definitely a negative in prep for me. But I think these two moves, the Topsy-Turvy and the Heart Swap, are absolutely essential, and the Shell Smash is just there because Smeargle's got no offensive presence anyway. He's not going to kill anyone no matter what you do, so yeah, there's no real point. I could have brought hazards. Like, I was throughout the game, there was one point where I was thinking, god damn it, if I would have brought like aromatherapy or something, I'd be much better. But no, I thought, Shell Smash, Smash Pass into something, that'll be fun. So that's sort of the thoughts behind Dog. And yeah, those are the sort of 6. Like I'm saying, I can't stress this enough. I'm not happy with how I've prepped this battle. Like, I've already played the battle. Like with all my other battles, I've already played it, and I'm recording both the team builder and the match itself after the fact. But yeah, those are sort of the thoughts behind that. And now we can jump into the battle. I'm going to press 1 second, let me just sort this. Firstly, I'm going to turn the volume on that down loads. Yeah, and then we're going to switch sides so that I'm... Yeah, right, and then I'm going to press reset. There we go. Perfect. Right, so this is the battle. So yeah, he's up with his revive. I leave up in my Magnezone because I'm thinking I can get a free Volt Switch, get a bit of momentum. And also, I didn't feel comfortable with any of the leads. And so I'm into this and I'm thinking, obviously I've got the free Flash Cannon here. What's he going to switch into? Well, Jolteon is his obvious switch because it obviously absorbs the Volt Switch or Thunderbolt. It resists the Flash Cannon, like Jolteon is his obvious switch, and I probably could have worked around that, but didn't want to risk it. I was thinking I can get a good 40% off on the Jolteon, so I'll go for the Flash Cannon. So I'm turning things down a bit more. Yeah, I just go out into Tangrowth here because Tangrowth can do absolutely anything against Jolteon, can sort of eat any hit. He brings out his Arcanine from Victini resists all the stats, is probably a defensive Arcanine, so I'll go out into Victini, and then I realised I can't really do anything back. It was probably a mistake this was a massive mistake on my part because as you can see here, Arcanine is Intimidate. I didn't pick up on that, so I was thinking, oh, the Arcanine's going to be Flash Fire, oh my god, I can't go for Blue Flares, and I can't go for Psychics in case he switches in the Weavile, and I was thinking, okay, so that was a bit of a misstep on my part. But I was sort of playing like this, and I was thinking, okay, we can bring in the Salamence because he can't do anything to me. He reveals the Burn Up, which is an insane move. It's got like 130 base power, and it gets rid of this fire typing. I've got no idea why he brought it, but it's a really, really interesting move to see. I just go for the Dragon Claw to get some damage. I go for Protect to see if he's sort of scarfed or choiced and he's going to go for Stone Edge or whatever, which was a massive mistake on my part because he got his rocks up for free, which is the one thing that I don't want on the field at this point. I managed to get a really, really fortunate critical hit, which is like 41%, brings him down really low. He doesn't have leftovers. So the Landorus has been worn down, which is really, really nice. He goes for the U-turn and he gets his free switch into Weavile. What do I do here? I just go for Protect, see what he's going to do, see if he's got the Ice Shard, the Ice Storm Crash, whatever. He goes for the knockoff. Pardon me. And so I just... sorry. Definitely should have got some water this time. I've usually got some water by my side. I'm thinking I can go to Magnezone, I can take one hit. He predicts the Magnezone switch brilliantly and he goes into the Arcanine. It's a great play on his part. And so obviously I can't take the burn up, so I go into Salamence. I think he gets a Toxic off here. He Toxics my Magnezone. Like, obviously I was always going to switch out, but just the fact that he Toxics onto a Steel type Pokemon slot is definitely a ballsy play by him. It's a really good read. Like, at this point I was thinking my opponent's out prepped me, I've got nothing for this Weavile. I was feeling really, really badly about this battle. And yeah, my opponent was just playing really, really well, as he has been all season. So I go out into Salamence. What happens here is this: when he switches into Landorus, I'm at -1 attack to the Intimidate. I get a second crit. That Landorus is only dead because I've got 2 critical hit Dragon Claws with Salamence. I was feeling pretty good about this. I was thinking, you know what? I'm not playing too well. I'm not feeling too great, but with crits and crits alone, I'm not going to try and claim credit for this. But crits and crits alone, I've managed to get rid of Landorus. That's great. He's still got the Jolteon, so Magnezone doesn't have 3 electric moves yet. And then he reveals that he's sub-Jolteon. I should have anticipated that from the leftovers, but I thought nothing of it. He reveals that he can power Fire, not Ground, which is really bad for Sizzle. I just went for Magnetize, just sort of scout what he's going to do. And then he obviously gets the sub up, so I'm thinking, oh god, I need to get the sub with the Flash Cannon. At this point, Kenny Loggins has been worn down, and I think Magnezone's sort of gone. Sort of lost all his viability. But I do realise obviously Tangrowth, again, as always, can eat any Jolteon's hits. So I just go for the knockoff, because I know it's a safe knockoff. I know he's going to switch out into something, and I can get rid of something's item. So the Arcanine loses the leftovers, which is quite nice. Go into the Salamence to sort of take any of the hits of the Toxics or whatever. He goes to the Roar, brings out Kenny Loggins, and this is a bit of a misplay on my part. I went for the Volt switch. Don't know why. The Jolteon was again a really obvious switch, but yeah, I'll bring in the Tangrowth again because this is a recurring theme, but Tangrowth can eat anything that Jolteon needs to do. He goes for the sub, I reveal the Earthquake, break the sub. Just thinking Earthquake can do decent damage to whatever switches in. Or it can break the Jolteon sub. So he brings in the Arcanine, I go for another Earthquake, gets off decent damage. Like he might have the Morning Sun, but if not, then this thing's being worn down. He shows the burn up again. I was just sacking off Magnemite at this point. But I'm thinking, okay, this thing has just lost its fire typing, and we know it's not Flash Fire, so Victini gets a free blue flare. Because it'll do like 45% to the Starmie, kills the Magiona, kills the Jolteon, kills the Weavile, kills the Arcanine. So this is just a free kill right here, pretty much. And my opponent realises that and just sucks off the Arcanine, which is fair enough. Yeah, Victini gets a kill. At this point I'm thinking, Weavile comes in, Victini's dead. Like, I think, I can't see what percentage health I'm on. I'm on like 50 something percent. It was, basically, I was doing the damage calcs. This Weavile isn't life orbed. And it's a roll on whether the pursuit kills if I stay in. But obviously if I stay in, the pursuit does half damage. And there was a chance that I could have lived it. And so I was thinking, if he pursuit traps me, then there's a chance I can live and I can go for the blue flare. Or he just goes for the knockoff. And I didn't want to switch anything into a knockoff. So I was thinking, I'm just going to sack off the Victini here. There's a chance that I can live the pursuit and go for a blue flare, but my opponent just goes for the knockoff. But like I said, I didn't want to switch anything into the knockoff, so Victini on Wink on, I sort of sacked that off straight away. So that was, again, just a misplay by me. But this was great, gave me the opportunity to go for the default, which is great. Valandris is dead, he's got no more hazards, and Smeargle can do some stuff. This thing goes for the shift gear, and at this point I'm thinking I could U-turn into Smeargle and do some of my little topsy-turvy shenanigans, but I was thinking I don't want to reveal that too soon, and also like a topsy-turvy Magic will just slow it down, it won't affect its special attack stat, because it hasn't got any Soul Heart boosts yet. So I'm thinking, okay, like I was saying in the team builder, the only thing that worries Tangrowth is a Specs Magic. And because he's going for the shift gear, he's not Specs. I know that I can eat anything, like I say, this Ice Beam is 48%. And I was get a free Earthquake, just to get damage off on it really. And then I was probably going to bring in Smeargle or something to work around it. Again, Earthquake crit, which is huge, because this Magion has revealed its Life Orb, so whatever move it goes for now, it's going to die straight afterwards. I switch into the Sizzle, sort of anticipating the Ice Beam, also kind of sacking off at this point, and it dies to the Ice Beam. No, it dies to the Life Orb recoil. And I was so fortunate with that crit. But yeah, Green Silence just sort of sacking it off at this point. I know that I can live a Thunderbolt, and so I go for the Roost, which was a bit of a mistake because he goes for the Sub. But I know that I can break the Sub. And I'll give him a free switch into whatever Mon, but the Mon won't be behind the Sub because I can break it with a Dragon Claw. So he goes into the Weavile, I go for the Dragon Claw, and also it's an Intimidated Weavile because the Baton Pass carries the minus stat boost as well. So going to Tangrowth because he can leave anything at -1. At this point I revealed the Brick Break. I was thinking to just go for the Leaf Storm just to get damage off, but I was also thinking he might, you know, stay in, try and get Icicle Crash flinch or something. He might try and take on this Tangrowth one-on-one. And he might not realise that I have a Brick Break, so he might risk his Weavile, and if I have a chance to get rid of that Weavile straight away, I'm going for it. So in retrospect I probably should have gone for the Leaf Storm, just because it's safe damage on whatever switches in, but I went for the Brick Break, revealed that, obviously Starmie resists it, and I'm scared about the Ice Beam, so I'll go into Sizzle, and he goes for a Trick, which is great fun on his part, because I think he realises that if he gets rid of a lot of the Assault Vest on Tangrowth, he's got a much better chance. So he went for the Trick, and he gave Sizzle a Choice Scarf, which would have been really nice if I was speed invested, but I'm not speed invested, so a Choice Scarf Sizzle is still not outspeeding anything. Then he goes for the Scald, and he gets the Burn here, which it was always going to come, because Scald always burns, everyone knows that, and I've had enough luck with my crits, so I do not begrudge him this Scald burn at all. It's kind of unfortunate because my Bug Bite obviously would have killed, and he allowed him to live it, but I'm not so about that at all, because I had enough luck. I'm going to Silence here. Silence has sort of done its job. It can't take on the Jolteon particularly well. Obviously Weavile it can't take on. And at this point I'm thinking, well, he hasn't shown the Ice Beam. Maybe he doesn't have it. So if I can Roost up against this Starmie, then we're absolutely golden. But I don't mind risking him having the Ice Beam. Obviously he doesn't have the Ice Beam more than me, so I sacked off Silence, but I wasn't too pissed about that. bring in Tangrowth. I know that I can use the ice beam and I can go for a knock, I can kill this thing, or whatever wants to switch in, I can get rid of the items. Tangrowth's looking good. What do I do at this point? At this point I'm going to Sizzle, just sort of sack off the Sizzle, but he misses the Icicle Crash, which is really unlucky for him. And I'm thinking, well, I think Icicle Crash might have been a roll, or maybe I might have lived it. Yeah, I think I was living the Icicle Crash. He was doing about 22%, and I'm at 24% health now. So, yeah, I just went for the safe U-turn. I was thinking if he stays in, I'm doing like 80% to the Weavile. If he switches out, I'm getting a bit of initiative. Like, yeah, even though it's a Choice Scarfed burned Sizzle, which is pointless, it's still, you know, I want to keep it alive because the priority is always nice, even if I am burned. And, you know, so I went for the U-turn just to get a bit of initiative. He does switch out, so I go for the U-turn. Does some bloody good damage actually, I'm really impressed with that. I can bring in Tangrowth because, like we all know, Tangrowth walls Jolteon. Got the Brick Break in case he decides to switch into the Weavile, expecting an Earthquake or a knockoff or something. But yeah, he stays in, he sacks it off. And at this point he brings in the Weavile, and I don't know what item this is yet. It's revealed that it isn't Life Orb, so I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's Choiced. It's not Choice Banded by the damage calc, so I was thinking maybe it's a Choice Scarfed Weavile to maybe help take on a Tornadus or something like. So at this point I'm thinking this, like, it hasn't revealed an item, it's probably Choice Scarfed, which I know is a weird Weavile set, but I don't think he's been mixing up his moves at all. Or I hadn't noticed it anyway. So I'm thinking whatever. I'll just sack off my Sizzle. Oh no, I'm not doing that, I'm lying. I'm lying to you. I was going to sack off the Smeagol, then bring in the Sizzle. Especially, yeah, all I wanted to do, I'm going to go back a turn actually. So you can see Tangrowth's on 30%, and I know from the calcs that his Icicle Crashes are doing about 60 to 65%. So if I'm down to 30% now, if I switch out, get my Regenerator boost, there's a chance, it's a roll, that I will live one Icicle Crash, kill with Brick Break. So at this point I'm thinking, this whole thing comes down to a damage roll on Icicle Crash, but I need to get Tangrowth out to get my Regenerator boost. So I sack off Smeagol at this point, or so I think. He goes for the Swords Dance. I brought in Smeagol to sack it off, and he goes for the Swords Dance, and I'm thinking, topsy-turvy. Because basically, if he's a +2 Weavile, he can sweep the rest of our team, no problem. He goes for the knockoff, gets me down to my Sash. I go for the topsy-turvy. It was so hype. It was so hype. Going to Sizzle just to sack it off, so I can get my free switch into Tangrowth, because I know that Tangrowth can beat a -2 attack Weavile one-on-one. I go for Brick Break, kill the Weavile, bloody win. That was an incredible game. Like I was saying, the whole time through I wasn't confident, my prep wasn't good, my playing wasn't good, he was outplaying me at every point, but I got those 3 crits. The 2 against Landorus were beautiful, the crit against Magiona probably won me the game, even though I did have the Smeagol to sort of stop Magiona sweep, but still. But yeah, I just feel like I wasn't feeling too happy about the win because of how it went down with the crits, but it's all, like, this is what League play is all about. Plays like this, plays like this. Topsy-turvy. People judge me for drafting Smeagol. Like, even though we've got no baton pass clauses, so, you know, in the GBA official, Smeagol's kind of useless because you can't smash pass. But in this league, we can smash pass. So Smeagol's not the worst Pokemon in the world, but yeah, I've proven that Smeagol does stuff without smash pass. Bloody topsy-turvy. I'm so proud of that play. So yeah, the topsy-turvy stopped the Weavile. I probably should have realised that it was going to be a Swords Dance Weavile, not the Choice Scarf that I was sort of thinking. But I don't even care. Like, that play, it just, that made everything for me. That's, like, I was so hyped about that, because the moment Weavile went for Swords Dance, I was thinking, oh god, a +2 Weavile wins. But topsy-turvy, like, I was tempted to go for the Heart Swap and then maybe pass it off into a Tangrowth, but that wouldn't really benefit me in any way. I was thinking, no, this is my chance, I've got to go for the topsy-turvy. I love that play. I can't even, I can't stress enough how much I love that play. So yeah, I'll actually load up the league table as it's looking now after this game's played. As you can see here, we are 4-4. There's only one other undefeated team in the league, which is this team. They've only played 3. They haven't played their week 4 game yet. So, we've got the best record. We've got the highest differential. We're the only team that's played 4 and is still undefeated. The only team with their 4 wins. Otherwise, so yeah, it just... I can't stress enough that those crits did win you the game. But I almost don't care because that topsy-turvy play worked, and that was so hype. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, I've sort of been rambling a lot, and it wasn't the best game, but yeah, it's probably one of the most hype games I've ever played, one of the most interesting games I've ever played. Not the best I've played, but in terms of the game itself, it's definitely one of the most interesting games I've played, with the crits and some of the plays, and I was on the back foot the whole game, but I somehow managed to pull it back. And yeah, I'm going to stop rambling now, but I am so happy with that game. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for our week 5 battle. Bye.